But I want you to notice what Paul is doing here in verse 17. He's using the picture of a scale. And he's comparing our affliction with glory. You see that? Let's read it again. For our light affliction. Kind of gives the idea of a feather here. Therefore, or for our light affliction, which is but for a moment, is working for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight. I want you to imagine an eternal weight. An eternal is never ending. An eternal weight of glory. So he gives us this idea, this picture of a scale here, comparing our affliction with the glory to come. It's as if Paul says, go ahead, get out the scale. Put all your affliction on one side of the scale. As a matter of fact, how about sitting on that scale with your affliction? How about getting everybody you can to sit on that scale with your affliction? Make it as heavy as you want, and then let me place the glory on the other side. And you'll see how light your affliction really is. That's what God is saying. That's what Paul is saying right here. In comparison to the eternal weight of glory, our affliction doesn't even move the scales. I love this quote I came across concerning this passage. It says, affliction is not something to be endured in order to reach glory. Think about that. Affliction is not something to be endured in order to reach glory, but he goes on to say, it is the very process which creates the glory. It's the process which creates the glory. Through travail comes birth. Gives it all new meaning. Our affliction creates glory. Brings about glory. Our loved ones who have gone on before us have seen the glory of God. And the suffering they endured has now given birth to eternal glory. And that's worth worshiping God for. That's worth giving Him praise for. Your suffering and your affliction, the things that you endure here on earth will also one day give way to an eternal glory. It's a picture of a woman in labor. Hour upon hour upon hour. 36 hours, 42 hours, I don't know. But then at the end, when that baby comes, every ounce of pain, every moment of hard labor is worth it when that baby's put in the arms of that mama. Or that baby's put in the arms of that daddy. That's the idea of light affliction compared to eternal glory, and it still doesn't even give it justice. I want you to get that picture in your head of what Paul is writing about here. And so those who have already gone on before us, they've seen that the affliction here was light compared to the glory that awaits us on the other side. So do not lose heart, because your suffering is creating glory. Your suffering is creating glory. All throughout the Scriptures, we see suffering and affliction partnered with glory.